Another COVID-19 variant is on the rise across the U.S. BA2, a sublineage of Omicron, is responsible for 3/4 of the cases across the country. Local 3's Elise Zwick has more on what doctors are tracking in our area.
27 states are now seeing a rise in COVID-19 cases from the BA2 variant, part of the Omicron strain. Here at home, it's business as usual, and we aren't seeing case counts on the rise yet.
It's not an if, it's a when. But the big question marks at this point, though, are because we had such a bad BA1 spike, is what is this one going to look like? Because there is some cross-protectivity. So we had so many people get Omicron when it went around the first time in our region that a lot of them, between that and vaccination, will have some degree of protection.
The BA1 sublineage variant of Omicron spiked so quickly, the impact of the spread was significant. Dr. Jensen Hyde of Erlanger Medical Center says as more variants develop, we will reach an endemic phase. She says this is how viruses live, and protecting yourself is the best way to get to that phase.
Viruses mutate. It's what they do. It's how they function. But for viruses to mutate, they have to replicate, and for them to replicate, they have to have susceptible hosts. So it's the reason that you hear us all talk about vaccines, is that if you vaccinate people, you decrease the likelihood that they're going to become a susceptible host, and then if they are, virus replicates in their system for a much shorter period of time, and therefore has less opportunity to drive production of variants.
Some northeastern states are discussing reinstating mask mandates and other precautions with the B2 variant on the rise. Dr. Hyde says, as we know, masks are helpful to stop the spread, but says she doesn't foresee those mandates back in place in our area. She does suggest making the best decision to protect your family.
Mask wearing is still a very useful tool, particularly if you're using a high quality mask. So, thinking about if you've gotten away from wearing masks, particularly in places like grocery stores, movie theaters, if you happen to be somewhere where you're in close proximity to people you don't know their vaccination status, particularly in an indoor environment, maybe thinking about going back to wearing masks in sort of a risk-based way.
Health professionals say the best protection against all variants is to be fully vaccinated and boosted. Reporting in the studio, Elise Zwick, Local 3 News.